It's Too Early, Season 3, Episode 9. I'm Nelly.
I'm Bree.
And I'm Lonnie.
And we have a very special guest with us today. We have Anitras from Hey Mama Podcast.
Yes, Hey Mama.
Okay. Hey Mama. So tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Hey y'all, I'm Anitras White. I'm 24 and I have a rambunctious, crazy, laughable, unique. She's gonna be 18 months this month, 18-month-old. I'm from PG County, Maryland.
Period.
That's it. That's it.
Pretty girl county.
What else about me? I'm a full-time mom now. I podcast all the time. Well, I'm a podcaster. Duh. And I'm in the process of launching a business. I have a BS in biology from Spelman College. HBCU #1. Get at us. But yeah, that's it. That's all I can think about.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the business, or that is still on the DL?
I mean, we can tell. I'm going to be launching it full time this week, so be on the lookout.
Nice.
So pretty much this whole movement, everything I've been doing has been God led. He's been telling me to do everything. Last year was a terrible year for me, just mentally, spiritually, everything was just out of whack, and it's because I was doing my will, not what he was telling me to do. And so I was working in the lab overnight, trying to put that degree to work, and it was working me, to be honest. And God was dropping all these things into me, and one of the things he dropped into me was the podcast to do, and another one was it's really a business. It's not really a business, it's a movement. He told me it's a movement, but it's a business. God, he's confusing sometimes. But so pretty much it's a movement to help charge people on their faith. Because a lot of times people hear people talk about their faith and how they walk, and they think it's just like a big monumental thing, when really it's a practical thing where you just simply have to say yes to one thing at a time. Like people just see faith and like, oh my gosh, he became a multi-millionaire doing what God told him to do. How? And it's really because your faith is practical. And so it's right now it's going to be like a t-shirt line just to help charge people and, make them think about their faith and bring it more on a practical level so people can actually start to walk it and embark on it. And it's going to be called Only by Faith, OBF. And the Instagram, you have to follow that now. We in the beginning phases, so don't go on me. But it's OBF Movement on Instagram, and yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Because I just started.
No. Like it would be a good conversation, so we might have to run it back. Like, just that idea of like people really think of like their faith in God as like textbook Bible, back to front. I know it, but it's really just like. God,
exactly.
I'm sorry. Like today, I was off.
Exactly.
I can't explain it.
Exactly.
I don't, like it's really.
I be like, God, this month I was off.
Exactly. People think it has to be. You have to be perfect in order for God to use you. No, it's progression, not perfection. Like honestly. Another conversation.
Okay,
I would start going.
Right. We might run it back, y'all. But like, let's get into what this episode is about, and that's motherhood, specifically young motherhood, and just like what that looks like, what that feels like. None of us are mothers yet, so we are looking to you as our guidance for today. And so, just give us a little bit of how this motherhood journey has been for you.
Woo! It's been a roller coaster. The beginning phases, rough. Pregnancy, I actually had a smooth pregnancy, but like the emotions and the mental barriers and just trying to get over yourself and realizing that something else is growing and you have to actually put yourself aside to raise it was a lot. She's walking out, talking pretty much and everything, so it's getting a little easier, so I can say, Nova, go get your snack, or Nova, sit down, go get, just watch TV, so it's easier. Thank you. Kid with myself. But so it's easier, but in the beginning phases it was rough. It was just really hard, especially because like you literally you're on that child, that baby needs you for everything. It needs you to live. So you have to be at its beck and call. So it's like you're just constantly going. And it's hard sometimes to put your health and stuff at first. So like in the beginning, like when I tell y'all, it was rough. I was dealing with the hormonal changes, dealing with the adjustment of a kid. It was hard. Relationships took a hit because it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. He don't know what he's doing. So we're trying to figure this out. When you're not giving yourself everything that you need, you're not feeding yourself properly, then you start to become agitated about super simple things. Your mental is just, everything's just, it's overwhelming. I don't want to do that to scare y'all.
No, that's
there were some beautiful moments in the beginning, she look at you like, oh baby, so cute, or they're crawling and walking. There's a lot of moments, but I would definitely say, in the beginning phases, I let my mental get the best of me.
Yeah.
And I will say that it kind of took some moments away because I was my mind was like fog, I was just trying to survive and just get my baby to survive. But but now I'm loving it. It's easier. Again, I think my walk with Christ and going deeper with Him helped me, get to where I'm at. People around me saying I'm nicer now. I think I was always nice. Yeah. But I will say I was a little snappy. But it's just been nice. I'm enjoying it more. There are still some days I'm like, girl,
your last nerve. Your last nerve.
For me.
No. I did not, especially you trying to launch stuff, different things. You got your other business and stuff you want to handle, but of course you're always a mom first. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna put this aside. Come on. You need a hug. Come on, extra lemon today. And stuff like that. But it has its pros and cons. But
all right. I have several questions, but I'm gonna start things. So one, was it a planned pregnancy where where y'all
planned? No, not at all. I was a senior in college. Literally last semester. I'm thinking, hoorah, spring break, kicking it up. Spring break was when things went downhill. But y'all, stay at school. Don't go home if you got a boo thing at home. But Mom, you might want this. But anywho, so I'm thinking it's about to be lit. Senior week in a couple of weeks. A month. Trying to crush out finals or whatever. Literally a week after spring break, I was like, something a little off. I'm not feeling myself. Pregnant. I was like, oh, that's not right. I literally, on my phone with my best friend, I said, I'm in Atlanta. On the phone with my best friend, she back here in Maryland. She at Bowie, kikiing over her friends. I'm like, girl, we gotta go to the store. We got to the store. We got like 4 things of pregnancy tests. Took on pregnant. Line. Ooh, that's not it. So it was not planned at all. I'm thinking I'm about to have it up, and it was horrible. It was literally because your senior year,
it's your last.
Right. It's time to go to parties, drink, just have it up. No. I was in my apartment, sad.
So how was that telling your support system, like, I don't know what your family dynamic is, so you can shed light into that and just like telling her dad, like, how was telling people?
So the thing is, my family and I, we're really, really close. My mom was like my best friend. My dad, we're pretty close. We're just a really close-knit family. So with that being said, I found out, of course, I told my boyfriend, like literally right after I found out, I said, I can't hold one.
Right.
I don't like keeping stuff on me, so I just spill. So of course I told my boyfriend, and I was like, what do I do? Like at the time, like a lot of thoughts was rushing through my head. And of course you're contemplating all your options, but deep down I already knew, like I couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't. I just couldn't. It's
easier said than done. Like people always say, like, if that happened to me, I'm not. And then you get pregnant and you're like, it's a human. It's inside me.
Exactly. So talked to them. So a couple of days, I think it wasn't a couple of days. I think the next day, I told my mom, and I was driving back home to my apartment from campus, and I was like, "Mom, you busy?" She at work, and she's like, "Girl, what you want?" I said, "No, are you busy? You busy?" She said, "What do you want?" I just said, blurted it out. I said, "I'm pregnant," and she's like, "Oh, I had a feeling something like this was gonna happen." And she was like, "I'll call you back." Because I think when I said it didn't fully click and register with her. My mom, she was a young mom. She had my older brother at 16, 17, had me 14 months later, and then had my younger brother when she was 22, 23. And so she was a young mom. So she know the struggle. She always said, "I don't want this for you." So but when she did a little, I had a feeling something was going to happen. And so she just said, "I'll call you back later and talk about it." And I said, "Okay."
Ooh, child. That's so chill.
Call me back. All right.
I asked you if you were busy. You're not about to just cut me off like that.
Exactly. So that was a little chilly. But so at first, I guess she was trying to be comforting, but I could tell she was disappointed, and because her vision of how she thought my life was going to go, it didn't go that way. And so whenever we had those expectations, it always leads to disappointment when it's not fulfilled. So that was her. It took her a minute. She had to cry and everything because I'm her only girl. She's like, "You at Spelman, you're supposed to be going to da 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 da." My dad was another one. I can't even tell my dad. My mom, she's worse than me with holding water. She has to let out. So she told my father before I can even tell him. And so it's it was really hard because every time I tried to call him and tell him, I would pre-scream. My mom be like, "Should I call him?" And she'd be like, "Nah, not yet." It literally took 3 days before I could talk to my father. And mind you, I talk to my parents almost every day.
Right.
And so when I couldn't talk to him like that, it was hurtful because it's y'all supposed to be my rock. Y'all supposed to be.
So you had to give him time because he wasn't ready.
Yeah, because he wasn't ready. I was I'm it is what it is at this point. I need support to get through this. I might as well just say it. One thing about me is I do not lie. I cannot lie. I don't like hiding things. I don't like moving in secrecy. I just don't, because my conscience eats me up. And it's just it's really my Holy Spirit to me. They're stop lying. Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't even try.
Don't even try. Just go ahead and say it. And so, yeah, so when that took, it took 3 days for my father, and that was kind of hurtful. But, I mean, we're all individual people, and so for his own mental health or whatever, he had to go through that process of trying to make it make sense in his head. And so of course to my brothers, I told my grandparents. My grandfather was sad. My grandmother was elated. My grandfather, because again, they had this vision. Yeah. I'm the golden child in my family.
But you were you still finished.
Yeah.
So it's not they didn't. Yeah, no. I see what you're saying, but it could have been freshman year.
Right. It could have been before you even got to college. Exactly. And so it's I don't know. It was just hard because it's y'all would rather put those expectations or your vision of me in your head before the actual me. And so it's I don't know. And especially since they were all young parents, so it's if anything, y'all should know and understand that what somebody needed in that time.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I didn't tell the rest of my family until it was probably a couple weeks before the baby shower.
Yeah. Your siblings?
No, my siblings, I told them, again, my family, aunts, uncles, cousins, we're all close. But my family, immediate family, we're like this.
Yeah.
Anything happens, we just say it.
See that? I couldn't. My dad, telling my dad when I get pregnant. I don't even think it matters how old I am.
Yeah.
It's still
yeah.
Because it's
how is that day created? My parents now are so what time do you think you're going to start this?
So my mom is ready. ready to be a grandmother, and that's just because her friends are becoming grandparents, and she like almost like she feel left out. Like I want to be a grandma.
My mom is already a grandparent because I have an older sister. But she wants more grandchildren, and she already knows my sister's not having anymore, so she's kind of counting on me. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon.
No, my dad is like, you can wait another 10, 15 years if you want to. Like he's very.
No, my parents, because I take care of my goddaughter like every weekend, so basically that's their grandchild now. And they be like, okay, this is cool, but like when I need my own, right? Where is he gonna come and when are you having? I'm like, y'all can wait. Like
I really should. Look, just take your time with everything. Trust me. My parents, they're like, oh, we could wait a little bit. Because again, Nova's a lot. She's a whole lot. She demands a lot. My boyfriend, her dad, their side, they pressing. So my boyfriend, he's the only child from his mother, and then his mother was the only child. And so they're like, you gotta break the curse.
Right.
And you need to start now. Like, have they met Nova? Like, come on, stop playing games. Cause she's crazy. But sorry Nova, you love me. But yeah, so it's like, I can't, not right now.
Could you see yourself that being your only child?
No.
Okay.
I got a sibling.
So more, but just later.
Yeah, later. Okay. But not too much later because I don't want to have kids in my 30s and 40s because I don't know if I could do what I'm doing now later. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah. But we got some time. I'm only 24.
Yeah.
Got lots of time.
Right. So how have your friendships changed over time? Like,
friendships. From
like the beginning of you finding out you were pregnant, throughout your pregnancy, and now as a mom with an 18-month-year-old.
That's when you find out who your ride or dies are.
Yeah, and I would definitely say I must do a great job at vetting in the beginning because all my friends, like, they hold me down. They have my back for whatever. I have this little group chat friends from like my friends from high school and everything. We're like this still. And they were elated. They were pressed because our group chat's called Little Zola. Y'all know like the Zola story. It's weird. But so they like our first little Zola baby, pressed. My other friend groups like at school, in college and everything. All right, what you need? We go to the store, we got you, we're taking care of you. And I was really grateful. I was really grateful to have them in my corner because, friends, people don't have friendships like that all the time. Like, especially now, you see people falling out with their friends, especially women. They fall out with their friend groups. Well, I'm not gonna say women because that's too much.
No, that's real.
No,
but I would say like the younger, more. Sometimes those with a more immature mindset, I would say, they fall out a lot. And that's all you really see now in the media. Like, that's all they broadcast and stuff. So it's like, dang, y'all falling out again? But my people's been my people's for forever. I'm still best friends with, like, people I grew up with in my childhood, middle school, high school, college. So it's like, I must, do a good job.
Yeah.
Now, that says a lot about you and, like, the type of friends you hang around. So that's your friendship. So how did your relationship with your boyfriend change? Which I'm glad to know that y'all are still together. Because that is very rare these days. Come on, for how was he like all on board? He was like, or was it a transition period where y'all really had to work through it?
We had to work. It took a lot of work. Like, it took a lot of work. In the beginning, of course, he's like, I support you, whatever. It's your choice, whatever you want to do. But it's like me, I'm the type of person like, but I want to know where your mindset is. But how do you feel about the situation? Because I don't want to, because this doesn't just impact me. It's more than just one life attached to this life. So it's like, where are you? And so it took a lot of barriers to really get him to like dive deeper in his feelings, because sometimes a lot of men, they don't really discuss how they're really feeling. They always try to just be strong for their women or whatever, and it's like, no, I need you to let me know how you're feeling emotionally, because we can't go much further if I'm the only one talking about how I'm feeling. Like, no, I feel like it's a one-way street. You're not doing that. And so it was a battle. When the hormones started changing, I asked him this too, like afterwards. I was like, "Did you want to break up with me?" He said, "Yes, every day." Every day. But because your hormones change when you're pregnant and postpartum. It can. I'm sorry to happen. It can be a lot, and sometimes he was always there. So it was like sometimes I would take stuff out on him when it was wrong. Because I just couldn't control how I was feeling at that time.
That's what I'm scared for.
That
right there.
Man, I feel like postpartum was worse than when I was pregnant. But he did a good job with Damon. He's really patient. Okay. He's really patient. What else can I? He doesn't show anger and frustration a lot. He'd rather just take a step back and like, I'm gonna give you your space, or he'll just be quiet, like let me just go off or just ramble, and after he'd be like, all right, you done, like like that. But like he doesn't really show aggression and anger. Really, it is a blessing, especially when, because I used to be the hothead, y'all. Jesus is changing me. He's changing me. But I used to be the hothead one. I used to, go off for everything. I speak my mind no matter what. That's when, again, I don't hold nothing, so you're gonna know how I feel. And he has shown me throughout my pregnancy and postpartum that sometimes you need to just take a step back, say, I'm gonna take a step back, chill. And it was tough. It was tough a lot of times because we both trying to figure out what's going on, trying to figure out how we feel. We're exhausted from being up all night with the baby. At one point, he was working 2 jobs, and so he was like running like ragged. Like he would literally go work one job, work another job, sleep for like 2-3 hours a night because Noah would be up crying or we have to go tend to her, and then he'll get back up and just keep going. And during that time, I didn't really see all the work that he was doing. I was just like, you're never here. Like, you're always at work. I need help with the baby. And that was the selfish and immature part of me that I had to grow and realize, girl, he's doing this for y'all. Like, chill out. Appreciate him more. And so I like to say, come on, I appreciate you.
Oh, come on. How long have y'all been together?
We were together officially since 2018. So it wasn't long. It wasn't at all.
That's beautiful though.
But so that's my dog.
So a little bit about your walk with Christ throughout this. So do you feel like this was like your wake up sign that God was like, girl, if you don't get right with me, you gonna have a hard time raising this child? Or do you feel like he was already kind of doing that and then she came? Or, what was that journey like?
I've always had a relationship with Christ. I would definitely say though, I think it was like a fake it type of thing. Because I grew up in the church. Syndrome. Yeah. I grew up in the church, so I always knew who God was, the Lord. I was saved young. I was in the dance ministries throughout middle school, high school. I even led the dance ministry at Sister Shop on Spelman campus like for 2 years. I was part of. So I knew God, knew Christ. I was just trying to do me and know Him at the same time, and that don't work. That don't work at all. And so I realized that while I was doing it, I was still trying to do me and God at the same time. And God was like, yeah, no. I'm going to let you see what's going to happen if you keep trying to be lukewarm, if you keep trying to go back and forth. And y'all, it was hell. Okay, it was horrible. Like, I hated it. And I would definitely say during those dark times throughout my pregnancy, because I felt like I went through a tough season of depression. My mind was, again, fogged. It was the enemy like throwing tricks after trick after trick on my mind. I was falling for it. And it was during those dark times, it was like, no, I know that I have a Savior who can come in and intercede for me. I know this is not how I'm supposed to be living. This is not how my mental is supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be feeling this type of way. Because God said X, Y, and Z. Right. He told me these promises. So I know that this is not it. And so I started to go deeper with it. It was still not all the way there, but I was going deeper. And it was postpartum. Last year was horrible. I started working maybe like, she was born in November. I started working February 17th, 2 days after my birthday. So it wasn't that long. So I was only home for a couple of months. And I was working overnight in the lab. I'm thinking, okay, I can spend more time with Nova if I work throughout the night because she's supposed to be sleeping. And then I come home, take a little nap, and then go see her and then do it again. That's not how it went at all. I was working overnight. I was working out Chantilly. I live in Lord. Yeah, it was far. Y'all don't know, it's as far. And so the commute was trash. The job was trash. I hated it. I was there pretty much by myself at night because a lot of people was going in and out of the lab, and so they didn't have a lot of people overnight. So it was literally half the time it was just me, and that's who wants to work. I mean, some people might, but it's like I like to talk.
Right.
I just like to talk to. And that was trash. Get home in the morning, can barely fall asleep because the sun is out. You know, I want to be out in the streets too. That wasn't it. So I would get horrible sleep. I wouldn't see Nova sometimes until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But it's like, I'm dead. She, you know, at that time in the beginning it was easier because she was a baby, so I would just like hold her or just, you know, chit chat with her. But as she was starting growing, it was getting worse because she was demanding more of me. Like she wanted to see me more. And it was like, okay, but I need a little nap for work. Okay, I need to do this. It's like a lot. And it was just trash. It was horrible. And so during that phase, I had to seek God more. Like in my commute to work, I would start putting on podcasts that would talk about, you know, like the type of journey that I want to be on, which is an entrepreneurship journey in Christ and how you can blend both. I would start playing more praise music and stuff. Oh yeah, completely side note. It really all this happened. It didn't just happen out the blue. I joined a discipleship ministry at First Baptist Church at Glen Arden, the Queen Esther Ministry, and it's an 18-month discipleship. To help you grow deeper in your walk. So I started that also in March of 2020. So during that time, I was, you know, getting guidance and saying, you need to start doing X, Y, and Z. I was being fed in different ways. And while I was being fed mostly spiritually, and that kind of was helping me to, it took the blinders off of me and seeing like all the madness and darkness that was going on. And so it was during that time, and it was, last year was just, not even just pandemic wise, it was just
like,
I was raggedy, okay? It was challenging. But during that time, I started going deeper with Christ, and look, he told me to quit my job at the end of the year. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm happier. Get more time with Nova. I'm being sustained. I don't need anything. Most of the time I have a surplus so I can even give to others. And I'm like, how? You know what I mean? Yes. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, that the whole journey of me, like pretty much my whole pregnancy, postpartum, everything, it helped me to go deeper with Christ. It made our relationship real and solid. Like now I know for sure. Like before I'd be like, well, I heard, you know, God did this. I heard.
I grew up
exactly. But now it's like I know.
Like you have your own testimony.
I have my own testimony. I know him for myself. I don't know him through my mom. I don't know him through my grandmother. I don't know him through, you know, the neighbor. No, I know him for myself, and I can vouch for him.
Well, give us the word, then. Give us the word.
No, because people always think like it's a cliche statement. Like, no, knowing it for yourself is a real thing.
Yes.
And you really don't. It is. It's a full-blown experience. It ain't easy at all.
It's not.
Being a Christian, period, is just not easy.
It's not.
Like, it's not.
Saying yes, it sounds so easy, but it's so hard. It's
more like a yes, but
right.
But I have this.
Exactly.
And the funny thing is, you really don't even experience it until you take away the but. Like it's like yes, nothing else.
Exactly.
Like that's it. Yes,
you fully go for it. Like he might give you a little taste of it, and be like, you know, Lord, you over.
You might think you're doing something. Like you got like
exactly. He be like, okay. Now you can have this little bit, or you can have this lot of it. You know, which one do you want? Either way, I can provide it for you. So
you say, just like you said, like it really don't make no sense. Like that's when you know he really working. Like it just don't make no sense. It came and it don't make no sense.
So as you like start to come to a close, like what would be like your top mommy tips or like your biggest lesson learned in motherhood?
My biggest lesson learned is boundaries. Boundaries with yourself, boundaries with your partner, boundaries with your baby, boundaries with your parents, the grandparents, the people who feel like they're kind of entitled to the baby because they're helping you X, Y. No, set your boundaries and set them early. Because again, you will be raggedy. You will be run ragged. People will cross lines, and you will feel violated. Like it was one point I remember. I had to tell my mom this. Nova was crying. My mom, she is real. It was in the beginning phase. She was crying. And Mom was like, "What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Just give her to me. Give her to me." And I'm like, "No, I need to learn how to mother my child. I need to learn how to take care of her and make her feel comforted. If I keep giving her to you, I won't never have that experience. I won't ever know for myself." And so it's like, "No, I got this. Let me do it. I'll call you if I need help." So it's like you have to just set boundaries. Because if you don't set boundaries, it's just going to be chaotic, a mess. The baby going to be confused.
Yeah.
And that's just in life in general. If anything, don't let nobody cross your boundaries, and make sure that you speak on your boundaries. If you feel somebody getting a little too close, say, "Nah, we're not doing this." So yeah, that's
I want to do one more thing we've done personally on, I don't know, a couple episodes ago, or last episode, the whole, what is one thing that you would pass on to your child from your parents, and what is one thing that you don't want to pass on to your child from your parents?
Ooh. One thing I would pass on to my child is the openness. Again, I told me and my can't talk. My family and I were really close. And my parents, they leave that door open to talk. I just talked to my mom about a lot of things. Not everything, but a lot.
So the fact that you told her first, like straight off the gate, that you were pregnant,
like immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like I want to have that open door policy with Nova. I want her to be able to come to me about anything. One thing I will not put on her or pass on is expectations. Granted, I have a vision. It's different to have a vision and then to force expectations on somebody. A vision is something that you will help. Like God says, dang, just left my mind. God says to train up a child in which they should go. And write your vision, make it plain. You can have goals for your child as in like, I want them to love themselves. I want them to know Christ. I want them to pretty much just train them up on the path in which will make them successful no matter what they do. If you say they want to play football at this age, she's going to do, arts and crafts and karate at that age, she has to go to X amount of school, she's going to Spelman. That's the one thing. But like if you said saying they have to be a doctor and you kind of pushing that stuff on them, I don't want that.
Yeah, you're training a child in what they should do and not the type of person they should be.
Yes. Exactly. Like I feel a lot of pressure as my family, like, go into the medical field, you're going to do X, Y, and Z, you're going to study STEM, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And that's why I did all that stuff. But now I'm like, God said, we're going to correct that. I'm on a totally different path now. I honestly feel like I'm not going to use my degree.
And I don't think parents realize how much baggage that puts on us. Yeah. It's like, I spent all this time doing all you wanted me to do, but now I got to restart, relearn, everything that I could have been doing in the first place.
And I just feel like it doesn't give you room to really discover yourself as an individual. Yeah. Like you're so worried about trying to meet everybody else's expectations and not really going on the path and the guide that you want to
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Well, anything else you want to leave us with? Last gem, shout outs, anything? What you got coming up for the podcast?
Where can they subscribe for the podcast?
Yes, Hey Mama Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Hey Mama, HeyMamas. You can also follow my personal Anitras, that's ANITEZ_. For available Hey Mama Podcast, it's available anywhere you pretty much listen to your podcast. If you go to our Instagram, it's a link in the bio. Click on that. Easy to get to everything. Check out OBF.
Yes.
By Faith.
I will definitely be.
Please do. That's OBF Movement on Instagram. I'm gonna try to pass. I'm gonna go over to Facebook, but Facebook.
It's the thing.
Facebook.
As a business owner, it's a thing.
Yeah. But and shout out to my baby No. I love you, baby, and yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for creating this space and this platform and using our voices. We need more of us to speak on our experiences and to just be a guiding light to others like us, so that way they don't think that they're alone. A lot of times people think that it's just them, and that's not the case.
We're too young to talk about it.
Like we're an open community and tribe. Like that's.
Yes, open community and tribe.
Well, happy Mother's Day!
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mamas, to our mamas, to your mamas,
your daddy's mama,
your grandmamas, your mama's mamas, your auntie's mamas,
all the mamas.
The mamas.
We love y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, and that is a wrap on episode 9.